Welcome to the Term 1 Week 2 Canvas page for the Year 11 Engineering Studies. I'm just going to go over a few little things so that you can see what's expected and how to navigate this, because I know it's still early in the course. We want to make sure that we get our heads around this quite simply. What you're actually looking at the moment is the teacher's view of the course. And with the teacher's view, I've got all these little tags down here which you have, but you can see these ones where they're actually the eye with a cross in it and the settings. These are the ones that you can't see. So it's pretty much the same as the same view that you've got, but I've just got a little bit of additional functionality. So for example, if I actually go to the student view here, this is what you'll actually be seeing. Okay, so and I'll just walk you through this now so you understand what the difference is. It's always good to know what's happening in the background so that you've got an idea of the difference between what teachers see and what you do. Okay, so down here you've got these things to do, okay? So you've got evidence of learning, reflection, so these things are actually coming up for you to do, and they've got due dates associated with them as well. Okay? The other things that I haven't done at the moment is I haven't published the pages. So you'll find that there will be other assessments here as well. You can see here the formal tasks are already listed because they've been published for you as well. I'm just going to leave student view. Like I said, I haven't actually published the work this week at the moment, and that's why you can't see it. Actually, no, let me just drop back. Sorry about this. I'll come back here and I'll just show you what actually happens. So here, if I go to current topics and I click on week 2, you're going to get this sign. And what this sign actually means is that the teacher hasn't published the work as of yet. Okay, so we haven't released it. So there could be certain things like you might find a course goes over, a unit goes over 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The first week will be open, but the others will be closed. And this is the sign that you'll actually get for it. Okay, so again, no need to panic or worry. You're not doing anything wrong. Basically, it's pretty much that you don't have access to this page at the moment. Reason you don't have access to it at the moment is because I'm going to upload this video shortly so you can see it all, how it comes together. I might have mentioned quickly about the navigation when we met in the face-to-face. So you've got current topics, syllabus, modules, and more resources. Right, these more resources are little things that you can actually have, like starting your study notes. And I seriously encourage you to download these study notes and start filling them in. So if I click on this link here, make a copy of the document. And basically what it is, it's a breakdown of the syllabus and all the key terms that we'll be covering. Okay, so here you can see I've actually pinched it from the syllabus totally, and I've got each of the areas that we do. So at the moment, these first two are the ones that we're actually looking at. Here we'd like you to define them and start typing in the notes. You can see as you go on, like these are actually quite large. If you think you're going to be able to do it overnight, you're kidding yourself. So please start this week, if you haven't already, to develop your study notes, because your life will get so much easier. Okay, so that's under the more resources. So from here, I've got my option. I can actually go home or I can choose another page. I usually like working from the home page because I've got all of my navigation here and it's easy to follow. Modules, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Basically, if you click on it, it's going to take you to the back end of this unit where you can see how everything has been set out. Right, and this again, this is the teacher's view. You'd only be able to see these ones because they've been published. These ones are yet to be published, and that's why there's no green tick there. Okay, you haven't got control over that. That's the teacher side of things, so I wouldn't worry too much about the modules. So you can see I came home again. Syllabus, clicking on here. You have your assessment plan and scope and sequence for the year, so you can see what we're actually doing. Thursday 4 p.m. I've now got to come back and change that because I've actually set them up as 3:30, but from 4 p.m. we have our Zooms. And down here is assessment task 1 and a scaffold, assessment task 2, an exemplar work of task 2, and then we're going down here into like some end of course, to help with the end of course examination, end of units like little tests that we're going to do. Syllabus, assessment policy for School of Now, and then all the work that you've actually got available to you or upcoming. Again, you can see what I'm doing. Home. Current topics. Now, current topics is going to be your best friend. So here's a little exercise. If you haven't seen Canvas before, it just helps you learn about the navigation and setup if you like that. However, what I would suggest doing is look for these. So each of these weeks we're going to be highlighted as we're going through them. We're currently at this video is about week 2, but you're going to find that these will light up as well with the weeks as we do them. So in some cases you might find we fall a little bit behind, but eventually we will be getting up to week 4 very quickly. Down here, some mechanics content and communication, because these are 2 quite large components of the course that we will be covering too. So we're in week 2 at the moment for this video. Let's go to week 2. Here is our ignition page, and we can just have a look at it. I've stated the outcomes that we're actually going to be looking at. And again, with your study notes, if I come back here, I know that here's the actual content that we're looking at today. So again, historical developments of engineering, outline historical uses, historical developments, outline. Okay, so you can see here in your study notes, this is the place where you'll actually start collating the notes for yourself here for this week. Right. Learning intentions and success criteria, and down here you're going to find the different exercises that we're looking at. This video will be placed down here once it's completed. Now, I know that sometimes we fall behind, but the first Zoom is scheduled for week 4, and when you click on this button, that will take you to the week 4 page, so you can see where the Zoom link to jump on those Zooms. Okay. So from here, flipped learning. This is what we want you to do prior to our meeting. In this case, there's no Zoom, but there's a little bit of evidence of learning, and there is a discussion to do here. Like I said, our first Zoom is week 4. Next. And that's basically the navigation for you. I'll just scroll down. You can go previous or next, and this next button will continue to take you through the learning exercises. Okay, so week 2. We've got to get some perspective on what's actually happening here in the world. So this first video is going to look like a timeline of the history of the world. A little bit depressing at the end, I must say, but again, you get an idea of how the world has developed over time and the influence of humankind on it. The next part of it as well is, I'll just click over, is a timeline for engineering. Now, when you actually open this document up, it's a little bit slow to get here, but when you look down here, it goes into, it looks like it's a lot of work. And the PDF itself is, I think it's about 40 pages. The whole thing with it is it's actually quite an easy read, and it will take you through the life of an engineer. The engineering product development, you can say. So I'm just going to load it up so you can have a look and see what it looks like. Cover, and then just start clicking through the book. Copyright information it's going to be, let's get rid of that. Key discoveries in time, move on, introduction. But what you're going to find, it is actually quite an easy read. It's just a timeline as it's going through, so you can start to see the different things that have happened through engineering. Okay, so just to give you a bit of an overview there. Next. Right. This is where a Zoom would normally appear, but at the moment, like I said, it's week 2 and no Zooms were scheduled. So here it's a little bit of reading about what engineering is about. The thing with this is, when you start looking at engineering, is that you find that all of these sorts of things, and I don't mean explosives, but all of these sorts of things you'll find in our daily life. And the little video here of this teenager is just looking at what goes on in an American teenager's life, which is fairly similar to an Australian teenager's life, and all the different things that they come in contact with that have been engineered. From the pen that he writes with, to the fork that he eats food with, to the buildings that he's learning in, to the transportation that he's traveling in. There's an element of design and engineering in each of those. The final video here is just one that actually tells us about why we need engineers more now for the future. Okay, so it's a good little TED talk to sit down and watch. Based on all of this, we've got our evidence of learning, and from here, what will actually happen when I turn this on? Oops, sorry, let me do it this way. Click here, and it will download a copy of this document. I'd love you to start a file for me for all of your engineering work, and you make a copy of this and save it in your file. So I'm just hitting copy now. Right, and you save it in your file, so you just work through, do the work. It's only one page here, just to start building your study notes as well, okay? See how it's got these words in red? These are actually terms that you'll find in the HSC, and I'm looking to see if you actually understand and know how to answer them properly. Again, don't panic. Have a look at the NESA site to make sure you've got an understanding of it, but by you having that understanding, or I can see where you need help by doing these exercises, I can come back and have a look. So just quickly, an outline. What are we talking about? What do you actually see? Okay, so what are the characteristics and features that you're actually seeing on the timeline, right? Compare, what's similar, right? Similar, contrast, what is differences? Okay, so they're the sorts of things that we're looking at. You're specifically asking you to show me the similarities and show me the differences, like between engineering created in contemporary society, okay? So basically read the question, but these key words are important for your HSC success. Coming back down here, then now you'll see that there's actually a rubric here. And what I'll do, I'll actually just publish this one now. So I'll publish this page and I'll go to student view so you can see what happens here. Right. So here you've got your download button, you've got your rubric, and the rubric itself is indicating how I'm going to mark it. So like, can you actually describe the development of technology and their impact? And then I'll be just giving you the indication here of what we're looking for. Now these are called, these outcomes are decay outcomes. So basically the way it's been set up is if you start dropping behind and you're scoring 3s, that's an indication where I can actually go, right, this student needs a little bit of extra time or work, or I'm not explaining it properly. So it's giving me feedback on how to help you do better in this course. So again, like everyone hopefully aims for this 5-level extensive, but like I said, we can start to see analytical data being collected on how you're traveling, so we know we need to come back and target those points. Okay, I'm just going to leave student view because that's what the rubrics, and that's how they work there. Next, the final thing is actually a discussion. Now, while you can't see the rubric, there is a rubric here for this. And what I'm looking at is your ability to reflect and respond to questions, your ability to complete the task, and also your feedback to others using the I like, I wonder protocol. Okay, so I like, I wonder basically means is like you're actually saying, I like this idea that you have stated. Okay, everyone likes that positive comment. It's an easy one to do, and it just allows people to know what you're actually thinking and you agree with them. Now, if you disagree with people, it can cut. It can be hurtful. So we've got to think about how we talk to others and using proper etiquette to do so. So the I wonder protocol is literally going, hey, hang on a second, I disagree with this, but I'm going to put my disagreement in a term that's going to challenge you to think my way. So for example, let's say the color blue, right? You might say, I really like the color blue too. Okay, beautiful, great comment. If you don't, you can say, I wonder if you've thought how the color blue makes you feel. Like in some cases it's used to determine that things are sad. People can be blue, which is an indication of sad. I wonder specifically what color blue you like. Look, I know that's totally off the scale, but you can see, rather than me going, nah, blue sucks, not good enough, don't like it, you can see all of a sudden I've thought of my reason as to why I don't like the colour, and then provided you stimulus to start thinking like it, how I think, to understand, so that you can see my point of view. So in this case here, you're going to find, if I'm just going to open this up from the teacher's perspective, I've actually got a rubric here as well, which is reflection, learning engagement, and give and receive feedback. Now these three things we're actually using on your reports. We're trying to micro-credential skills that you're actually learning in this course to help with future university applications. So, and rather than like having does homework or is like communicates well in class, these are the things that we use to get your personal profiles. So please take these reflections quite seriously as we are looking and we are assessing them here. And like I said, the beauty of this is by doing it this way, we've actually got records that can support your future applications to university, but we can also again see the skills that need to be built upon as you're going through this course. Okay, so that is week 2. Again, coming back to this here with actual, like the home, your best friend is going to current topics and then clicking on the link to the week that we're actually working on to find the work that needs to be done. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.